The gaslights flickered, casting an eerie glow over the theatre. The dim, wavering lights added a sense of anticipation and mystery to the evening. The crowd buzzed with excitement, their faces alight with the joy of an evening out. The theatre was a place of escape, a brief respite from the harsh realities of life. It was April 14th, 1865, a night forever etched in American history. The Civil War had just ended, and the nation was beginning to heal from its deep wounds. At Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., President Abraham Lincoln and his wife Mary Todd Lincoln settled into their box seats. They were there to enjoy a performance of the popular play, Our American Cousin. The play, Our American Cousin, was a comedy, a welcome respite from the tumultuous years of the Civil War. The audience laughed heartily, their spirits lifted by the humor and light-heartedness of the performance. Unbeknownst to the Lincolns and the unsuspecting audience, a sinister plot was about to unfold. The night, which had begun with such promise, was about to take a dark and tragic turn. John Wilkes Booth, a renowned actor and Confederate sympathizer, lurked in the shadows, his heart consumed by hatred for the president who had led the Union to victory. Booth was a familiar face in the theater, which allowed him to move about without arousing suspicion. Armed with a single-shot derringer and a knife, Booth saw this as his opportunity to avenge the South's defeat. He had meticulously planned the assassination, believing it would reignite the Confederate cause. As the play progressed and laughter filled the theater, Booth stealthily made his way to the presidential box. His heart pounded with a mix of fear and determination as he approached his target. He quietly opened the door and stepped inside, his eyes fixed on the back of Lincoln's head. The president was completely unaware of the danger lurking just behind him. A loud gunshot pierced the air, silencing the laughter and sending shockwaves through the stunned audience. The sound echoed through the theater, a stark contrast to the jovial atmosphere moments before. Lincoln slumped forward in his chair, his head falling heavily to his chest. The bullet had struck him in the back of the head, causing a fatal wound. Mary Todd Lincoln screamed, her cries echoing through the now chaotic theater. The audience, initially frozen in shock, began to panic, their screams and shouts adding to the bedlam. Booth, his face illuminated by the stage lights, leaped from the box to the stage below. His dramatic exit was both a calculated move and a desperate attempt to escape. He landed awkwardly, breaking his leg, but he quickly rose to his feet, brandishing a bloody knife. Despite his injury, Booth's resolve remained unshaken. "Sic semper tyrannis!" Booth shouted, his voice ringing out over the stunned silence. "The South is avenged!" His words were a chilling declaration of his motives and beliefs. He then disappeared into the night, leaving behind a scene of chaos and despair. The theater, once filled with laughter and joy, was now a place of horror and grief. The assassination of Abraham Lincoln marked a tragic turning point in American history, one that would be remembered for generations to come. Abraham Lincoln, the self-educated man from humble beginnings, had risen to become the 16th President of the United States. Born in a log cabin in Kentucky, Lincoln's journey to the presidency was marked by perseverance and a deep commitment to learning. Despite numerous setbacks, he never wavered in his pursuit of knowledge and justice. He led the nation through its darkest hour, the tumultuous years of the Civil War, holding the Union together against the forces of secession. The Civil War was a brutal conflict that pitted brother against brother, and Lincoln's leadership was crucial in navigating the nation through this period of unprecedented strife and bloodshed. Lincoln's eloquence, compassion, and unwavering belief in the principles of unity and equality had captured the hearts and minds of many Americans. His speeches, such as the Gettysburg Address, resonated deeply with the public, reminding them of the core values upon which the nation was founded. He issued the Emancipation Proclamation, a landmark document that declared the freedom of slaves in Confederate territories. This bold move not only altered the course of the war, but also redefined the nation's moral compass, setting a precedent for future generations. Lincoln's vision for a reunited nation, where slavery would be abolished and all men would be truly equal, resonated deeply with the American people. His commitment to justice and equality inspired countless individuals to join the cause and fight for a better future. He had become a symbol of hope and resilience, a beacon of light in a time of profound darkness. His leadership provided a sense of stability and direction when the nation needed it most. His assassination just 5 days after the Confederate surrender at Appomattox Courthouse sent shockwaves of grief and disbelief throughout the nation and the world. The loss of such a pivotal figure at a critical juncture in history left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the American people. The man who had guided the nation through its darkest hour was gone, his life cut short by an act of senseless violence. The nation was plunged into mourning, and the outpouring of grief was a testament to the profound impact Lincoln had on the country. The nation mourned the loss of its leader, a man who had come to embody the spirit of America itself. His legacy of courage, integrity, and dedication to the principles of freedom and equality would continue to inspire future generations. Lincoln's legacy, however, would live on, his words and actions continuing to inspire generations to come. His vision for a united and just America remains a guiding light, reminding us of the enduring power of leadership and the importance of standing up for what is right. John Wilkes Booth, the man who assassinated Lincoln, was a complex and contradictory figure. He was not just an actor, but a man deeply entrenched in the political turmoil of his time. Born into a prominent theatrical family, Booth was a successful actor in his own right. Known for his charisma and stage presence, his performances were celebrated and he was a household name in the theater world. Despite his success, Booth harbored deep resentment towards Lincoln and the Union. His disdain was not just political but deeply personal, rooted in his Southern identity and upbringing. A fervent supporter of the Confederacy, Booth viewed Lincoln's policies as an existential threat to the Southern way of life. He believed that Lincoln's actions were destroying the culture and economy of the South. As the Civil War raged on, Booth's hatred for Lincoln intensified. The more the Union forces succeeded, the more Booth's anger grew, fueling his desire for drastic action. He saw the president as a tyrant, a man who had overstepped his bounds and destroyed the South. Booth's view of Lincoln was not uncommon among Confederates, but his response would be extreme. Booth became increasingly vocal in his support for the Confederacy, using his platform as an actor to spread his views. He would often engage in heated debates and discussions, trying to sway public opinion. The Confederacy's defeat at Appomattox Courthouse shattered Booth's hopes for a Southern victory. This event was a turning point for him, pushing him from vocal critic to active conspirator. Driven by a toxic mix of anger, despair, and a desire for revenge, Booth hatched a plan to assassinate Lincoln. He believed that this act would be a catalyst for change, a way to avenge the South's defeat. He believed that by killing Lincoln, he could throw the Union into chaos and potentially revive the Confederate cause. Booth imagined that Lincoln's death would inspire a resurgence of Southern resistance. Booth's act, however, would have the opposite effect, solidifying Lincoln's legacy as a martyr for the cause of freedom and unity. Instead of reviving the Confederacy, Booth's actions helped to heal a fractured nation, uniting people in their grief and resolve.